So I came to this idea of a trade that I think that the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canadians should definitely consider making, due to the fact that it doesn't change cap on both teams, and it improves areas that they're both lacking in the past seasons that really make or break your chances of having a successful season, even in a tank year or rebuilding year. Now, the trade I'm talking about is trading the player Milan Lucic and forward Louis Eriksson, doing a player swap from Edmonton to Vancouver. So Milan Lucic will leave Edmonton and go to Vancouver. Louis Eriksson will leave Vancouver and go to Edmonton. Right now, Milan Lucic is making $6 million a year. Louis Eriksson is making $6 million a year. Louis Eriksson signed until 2021-2022 season. Milan Lucic is signed until 2022-2023 season. So it's a 1 year difference there. Other than that, is the exact same. That is why this trade is so unique that no other team could pull off. They're the exact same cap, so the team does not fluctuate in cap, other than that 1 year that they have Lucic for them extra than Eriksson. And they both improve on areas that they're lacking in the past seasons. Louis Eriksson has not been a good fit in the Canucks due to the fact that the Canucks have never, other than the Sedins, had a really driving offensive core that he's been able to click with. He needs players and supporting cast around him. If you look at past seasons, 36 goals in 2008, 29 goals in 2009, 27 goals in 2010, 26 goals in 2011. Then he left the league during the left. He came back. Dallas, 12. He had 12 goals. 10 goals with Boston in his first year. 22 goals, 30 goals, 11 goals, 10 goals. His last two seasons with Vancouver have dropped from 22 goals, 30 goals to 11 and 10 goals. So that's a big difference. From 4 years of hockey, he went from a 22 goal scorer to a 30 goal scorer, back to an 11 down to an 11 goal scorer, and then even further down by 1 goal to a 10 goal scorer. That tells you that he needs supporting cast, not on a rebuilding team where he will just be dead cap and not in a situation to help you win. He's registered 23 points last season, 24 points the season before with Vancouver. Now, if we go over to Milan Lucic, his career numbers have been all over the place with Boston and all around. Just really different and fluctuating from 30 goals to 7 goals, 24 goals, 18, 20, 23, and then 10. A same situation as Louis Eriksson. His first season with Edmonton, a very successful season, registering 50 points in 82 games, playing all 82 games. Then you have another season, 82 games back-to-back. Played the same amount of games, only registered 10 goals and 24 assists for a total of 34 points. That tells you a lot about his decline. Is it a decline in him playing, or is it the fact that Edmonton just in general was shit this year? This is where I bring my proposition in. Louis Eriksson fits better and plays better with better, older, experienced players around him. Point being Connor McDavid and supporting cast that McDavid has. Even though it's not much, it's still better than what the Canucks have. Other than Besser and Horvat and Baertschi, your BBB line, your offense fluctuates in, inconsistency because they're young and developing. With Lucic, you implement him into your bottom six or your top six, your penalty kill, wherever you need a guy like this to be. He replaces the Sedins with veteranosity, and you can give him the C. You can let Horvat mentor underneath him in that physical game because they're very similar to him and Horvat, how they play. Yes, he's not as big and Horvat doesn't hit as much, but they need to learn how to play that way. Each NHL player should learn how to play the way Lucic does to a degree. Lucic can bring that. Lucic can teach Virtanen how to play because Virtanen and him are very similar in nature, but Virtanen can't score and get his feet going. Lucic can help him with that. Eriksson brings to the Edmonton the option of scoring with McDavid, a proven goal scorer, a guy that can be there to get those goals on the power play, wherever you need him to be. Yes, he's had a couple bad seasons, but I believe that he can work. I believe it can work. I truly believe that he can actually have a successful, career, playing out his career with Edmonton due to the fact McDavid's there. And McDavid is like the Sedins when they were in their prime. You put any player with them, they produce. Examples being Anson Carter, Alex Burrows, so on and so forth. That is where these teams make these crucial option of having these players as trade options. Cap is a big thing nowadays in the NHL. We all know that. And if these teams were in a situation where they needed to free up cap and they had to trade them, a first-round pick, a second-round pick, or at least a high-end prospect and a pick, maybe a second and a high-end prospect, that would be what it would take to move these contracts to a team that has the cap. It's not the way it used to be anymore. And it's not like, and the NBA is a great example of this, trading bad contracts to free up cap. is something that happens a lot at deadlines, and you give up first round picks usually. That's the same situation with the Vancouver Canucks or Edmonton Oilers or any team that has a bad contract. You can't get rid of it without giving up assets. And both of these teams, as much as I hate to categorize Edmonton as a rebuilder, because they shouldn't be with the talent that they've had come through, but they keep fucking it up, you have the two options of being able to no, my God, I can't speak. You have the ability to switch players that will improve your team, keep the bad cap, but you improve the players, if that makes sense. You're improving where you need to be improved, and your cap doesn't change. So it's a win-win, really. You know, you're not getting rid of the contract and freeing up cap, which is the big, slump in that option. But you're improving what you have. You're taking what you have and you're making the best of it. You're saying, look, I have Milan Lucic, or if you're Benning, I have Louis Eriksson. What can I do to improve my team without fluctuating my cap too much? Because I can't have that as an option, and I don't want to give up assets. Well, Chiarelli can call him up. Hey, I'm in the same situation as you. Let's switch. It'll fill what we need to be filled, and then we can become better moving forward. That is why this trade is crucial, and it is so crucial compared to any other trade that these teams can make. If the Canucks want to be able to get better, Eriksson needs to be cut and gone, and they can't just buy him out at $6 million. It would just be a waste of money. So trade him for Lucic, who can benefit your team, while Eriksson can benefit Edmonton. It works out perfectly. Yeah, there's the what ifs, and Edmonton fans and Canuck fans will bicker about each player being shit and not wanting them. But when you look at it in reality, your options are limited. Without trading assets and a crap ton of assets, these players are going to be on your team until these contracts are done. Or at the deadline when they're getting traded for absolutely dog shit because you're just getting them off and you're freeing them off your roster finally. That is what your options are. You're stuck. You're really stuck with this. You're not going to be able to get, a great player for Louis Eriksson or anything off of for Louis Eriksson. Same thing for Milan Lucic. Due to the term and contract length, no one wants to take on that cap for that long. But if you're able to make the team better by improving what you have, keeping cap the same, yes, no, cap is the big thing here. You could be thinking, well, why would you want to give up the same cap? Why would the Canucks want to take on Lucic, who has an extra year, while, Edmonton actually gets out of the Lucic contract for the term? Well, that's where, Edmonton or Vancouver would have to sweeten the deal with maybe picks. So maybe you do have to give up a pick. Maybe you're swapping thirds or whatever it might be. But in reality, I feel that you wouldn't need to do that. I feel if these two players straight up for each other would be a fantastic idea. I think it's worth the gamble in these situations for these teams. They're both trash. I hate to say it. The Canucks have a great future. I used to hate on the Canucks for a very long time. Living in Vancouver, they've let me down my entire life. They have really good prospects coming up. Brock Besser is going to be a fantastic goal scorer. Him and Patrick Laine are going to give each other runs for their money each year for goal scoring tallies for the Rockets. So it's going to be really interesting to watch them play together. There's so many good players in the Canucks prospect system coming up, and they're already on the team. I love Bo Horvat. Sven Baertschi has been, just taking me by surprise on how he's been able to perform. They have a good team. Edmonton has great players as well. You have McDavid. You have generational talent. I'm not making this video to bash your team, saying you're both fucked, take the lesser of the worst, but you have the option of making your teams better, just taking on one extra year. And I feel that Canucks, I think they'd be willing to do that to get rid of the Eriksson contract. I feel that it gives taking one extra year and not even the contract, the player. Louis Eriksson's god-awful in the Canucks. Milan Lucic, on the other hand, has been mediocre, best to say, on Edmonton the past season. Swap them. It will work. And watching these two players play regularly because I live in the West, it will be a beneficial trade for both parties. Each club will improve at least a small amount without losing cap. So I don't understand why you would be against something like this. It's a great idea. Being able to these options here would fit in anywhere. You can fit Lucic in literally anywhere in your lineup. Eriksson, you can put him on your power play. You can put him on anywhere in your top six or your bottom six. You can play with McDavid whenever you need him to play. It is a great option for Edmonton Oilers to have a guy that can score goals. He's a better goal scorer than Lucic is, and that's what they're lacking. Edmonton had no goal scorers than McDavid last year. McDavid carried them offensively. Draisaitl even had an off year. This would be a great option for them to have. A veteran talent who can score goals, who's proven. He just needs someone there to help him out. And McDavid's the exact player on what Eriksson would need to help him out. Milan Lucic brings veteranity to a team that just lost its leaders over the last 18 years. The Canadiens are gone. And without them, they don't have a lot of veteranity talent in their forward core that will lead them, other than Brandon Sutter. That is where this trade is crucial. They need to be able to look at this team And the Canucks need to be able to look at their roster and be like, we need a veteran talent that's not Louis Eriksson. Lucic fits the bill. I could keep going on and on about this, about how there's different options, but I'm not going to bore you for it because I've already been talking for a while. But my point being is that each player benefits the team in the way they're lacking. Cap does not change, so I don't understand what you have to lose. I think it's an option that both these teams should definitely take into consideration. It's something that you wouldn't see a lot of these type of trades one-for-ones, especially with Cap and everything like this, but it's a contract that would definitely make improvement to the club, and I think that they should definitely consider it. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to talk any more longer about this. I've already been on it enough. I think that it's a very interesting option for these teams, and I definitely think you should consider it. Make sure to definitely comment. If you're a fan of the Oilers, if you're a fan of the Canucks, make sure to comment. If you're a fan of hockey and trades, comment. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Trade videos do well with your opinion. That's what we need. Teams need opinion. Make sure to comment, share the video, get as many people as you can down in the comment section. We can comment, discuss, and argue and bicker. Do what we love about talking about trades and hockey. That's what hockey is awesome about, and we can do that. And I'd love to hear you guys' opinion about this. I think these trades would work well. I think the teams should take into consideration, and I hope you guys can agree with me or at least see where I'm coming from. Remember, this is just my opinion, so if you get offended, if I hurt your feelings, whatever it might be, I apologize. I'm just going to put that out there. I've gotten some comments lately that have been kind of hurtful, but they really don't matter to me because these are YouTube videos that I make as a hobby. So, you know, if they upset you that much, they upset you that much. But anyways, enough about that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm the Canadian Zombies. As always, peace out, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.